Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who Flux, Episode 3, Once Upon a Time. So, I gave pretty positive reviews of the first two episodes, I thought, it might be a return to form for Doctor Who. Maybe Chibnall magically learned how to write, but, I always had this feeling in the back of my mind that, like, so much is going on, it's going to collapse in on itself as the series goes on. And, this episode does not convince me otherwise. It's very disjointed and messy and stuff. It's definitely the worst one so far. Not the worst Chibnall episode so far. That's probably still Orphan 55. But this is probably the worst episode of Flux so far. We're only halfway in now. So the Doctor, continuing on from last episode where the Swarm were about to kill Yaz and Dan by snapping their fingers. The Doctor decides to do Clara Oswald and jumps into the time stream of the temple, and she hides Dan, Yaz, and Vindel into the past memories. But things have changed because every time one of the companions is in their memories, they're talking to the Doctor secretly. The Doctor kind of appeals in the place of one of their colleagues. So we see Dan on a date. We see Yaz both with a cop partner and her sister, and we see Vindel working for the Galactic Agency, whatever. So out of these three, I'd like to say I liked Vindel's the best because it actually gave him a character arc. It kind of showed his backstory and stuff, so that was cool. And the other stuff, well, the other two were basically stuff we already knew about the characters, so it didn't really add much. I could take it or leave it. But I feel like they did this so often that it took up half the episode, and it really, I don't know, it kind of felt like it went on a bit too long. I feel like Chibnall's trying too hard to be clever. Uh, I don't really understand why, people in the memories, not only do they see the Doctor in the memories, but they also see the other companions. Like when Vindel's talking to his boss, the boss turns into Yaz for some reason. It doesn't really make much sense. Now I get the Doctor going into the memories, but it's okay, you're safe in here. I just gotta come up with a solution. But I don't know. I feel like we spend too much of the episode going on that, and not as much as I feel like it way more than we could have. We also meet a character named Belle, who, in my opinion, was extremely unlikable. So she's a survivor through the flux, and she's running from Daleks and Centaurans and Cybermen because apparently after the flux happened, they kind of took over the universe and stuff. And I feel like this character's dialogue is so awkward, the way the dialogue is written, because it's supposed to be a very vague, who is this character? What is her purpose? And they keep it a mystery a bit longer than they should have. I feel like if they wanted to keep it a mystery, they could have executed it better because her lines are so intentionally vague that they feel like nothing a regular person would say. One of her lines is I have to go to the place I'm going to meet the person I have to meet. Who fucking talks like that? Nobody talks like that. The dialogue is written in such a vague way that nobody would fucking say it in real life. And dialogue is probably Chibnall's number one problem throughout the series, all of his three seasons. Um, so yeah, it makes a grand return in this episode. At the end of the episode, we find out that she's Vindel's wife, and it would have had a more of an emotional impact if they bothered to really develop Belle as a character in her own right, or at least maybe put a little bit more development instead of random vagueness. Also, the Doctor jumps into her own time stream, and she gets memories of the past, pre-Hartnell Doctor, the fugitive Doctor, which I'm still not a big fan of because it doesn't really make much sense in terms of canon. Why does she call herself the Doctor if that was something William Hartnell did? But if William Hartnell forgot he was the other Doctors, why would he also call himself the Doctor? It seems like a very big coincidence. Also, why does the police box? Why does the TARDIS look like a police box when it was established in the first episode that it was to blend in with '60s London? like there's just many different like weird stuff that doesn't make any sense, and I'm still not huge on it. And that's nothing against the actress who plays the fugitive doctor. I think she's doing a really good job. But more of like the technicalities, like I feel like this actress would have been fine if they just cast her as the next doctor. You know, if they had Jodie regenerate in the hole and then just had her be the doctor, I feel like that would have been a lot better. But I don't know. It kind of goes against the canon. But anyway, she like gets the memories of this past fugitive doctor, and she's working with Dogman to and a few other associates to defeat the swarm and to rescue the priests that were hidden in the temple on the planet called Time. And she finds the priests and encourages them to return to the temple, but the priests separate her and from her past to protect her, so that's how she lost her memories. And there was this old lady who my dad said looked like Roseanne Ball, so I'm just gonna call her Roseanne Ball. She's kind of screaming at the doctor. We don't really know why. Um, there's a lot of context missing for vagueness. But yeah, Roseanne Ball screams at the doctor, and the doctor's like, "I want to see more of me past." But the time gods are like, "No." So, the Doctor returns Yaz, Dan, and Vindel to the present, and they fix the time streams, and the day is saved. And she returns Vindel to his home planet. His home planet looks like shit, though. Uh, I don't know. If I was the Doctor, I would have been like, is there anywhere else I could take you, to reunite with your wife? You could stay with us until that happens. We could help you. But instead, she's just like, okay, you can go to this wasteland, uh, see ya. So they leave, and the Weeping Angels take over the TARDIS. And we end with this line: "The angels have the phone box," which is an obvious reference to Blink, a classic episode. However, it doesn't make any sense within the context of this episode. Like, because why would she call the TARDIS the phone box? She just call it the TARDIS. So it makes sense in Blink because Sally and Nightingale, they didn't know about um, they didn't know about the TARDIS. They just called it the phone box. So it makes sense for the Doctor then to call it the phone box. But in this, all three characters know what the TARDIS is. So why does he say the phone box? Unless he's making a reference. But the only person who would get the reference is her, and possibly the Weeping Angel, but probably not. Like, what are the odds it's the same one? So I don't understand why he makes that. Oh, no, yeah, I do. It's because of nostalgia bait. It's a feel like these few episodes have been really clinging on to try to keep the old fans watching. It's like, look, it's a Dalek, it's a Cyberman, it's a Centaur, it's a Weeping Angel. Look at these guys, the old favorites. When I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of there just to be there. But at least they have the Swarm, which is a new villain, so at least they have that. It's not like they're relying solely on nostalgia, so that's good. Um, but I feel like they're there just to be there. Um, but yeah, this episode isn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely a huge step down from episode two. It's episode two, in my opinion, was the best episode of Jodie's era so far. And episode three just feels like jumbled, deliberate. I don't know. It goes on way too long. With the whole like flashbacks thing, and most of it we didn't really need to see in the first place. It doesn't really help develop any of the characters except for Vindel and I guess the Doctor. And it, kind of goes on a bit too long. I would say I do like that scene with the Weeping Angels in the video game. That was cool. I don't know why Yaz's sister's like, nobody calls them video games anymore. Now, if you'd forgive me for not really playing much video games, I'm not really into that culture, but I'm pretty sure people still call them video games, so I don't know what you're talking about, Yaz's sister, who's so forgettable that we don't know her name. Like with Donna, we had Wilf and Sylvia. With Rose, we had Jackie and Mickey. And, I feel like with Yaz, we just have Yaz's sister. But, how do you have time to develop her or Yaz herself when we have all this other shit going on? Like I'm not like totally hopeless yet. Like there's still 3 episodes left. They could turn it around. Um, Hopefully, like I said, it doesn't get too convoluted and they're able to wrap up all of these plot lines in a satisfying way. Else they end up like the Many Saints of Newark, which I was similarly disappointed in because they had to have so many plot lines and none of them have satisfying focus, I guess. So this is the Many Saints of Doctor Who, I guess. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be talking about Last Night in Soho, a movie I saw last weekend. I enjoyed it very much. I don't know when that video is going to drop, probably Sunday, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next week for my next review of Doctor Who, episode 4. I don't know what it's called yet, but, hopefully it won't be as bad as this. See ya.